Good evening, everyone. This is Charles with Exodus Dispatching and Training. Wanted to go over the upcoming Freight Broker one-on-one training for beginners opportunity. It'll be similar to the Dispatcher one-on-one training for beginners. This is Freight Broker one-on-one training for beginners. Give you guys an overview of what that entails. Share my screen here. If you can see my screen here, I'm going to post this announcement on the different platforms to give you an idea of what's going to happen in the trainings. Freight Broker one-on-one training for beginners, $3.99. I am offering a 2-for-1, $3.99, $99, or just $3.99 for the month. The inaugural, I guess you would say, the beginning month of that through March 31st. The training starts March 1st. And what do you get? Of course, you're going to get the live weekly online operational training. They will be recorded and uploaded into the training videos area of the website, ExodusDispatchingandTraining.com, under the Freight Broker one-on-one training for beginners section, and in the training videos subsection. And that will be here. So what all will be covered? Let's go to the website. Similar to Dispatcher one-on-one training for beginners, you will be required to create a login after you enroll. First, you go and enroll. And it will be a 2-for-1. I got here 2-for-1 price for the month of February and March. So someone can join early in the month of February while I'm advertising it, but it's good through March 31st, the 2-for-1 special. So, and then when you enroll, you click back up here, and you will be asked to create a login. So let me log out. Freight Broker one-on-one login and sign up. So you can click sign up. It defaults to the login area, but if you notice under login, it has new to this site, sign up. So you will sign up, enter your email and password that you're going to use for all of the sub areas of the Freight Broker one-on-one training. So once you log in once and that email and password gets approved in the admin section of the website, you will be able to access all of the other subsection areas of the Freight Broker one-on-one training for beginners section. So what do you get? Well, you get, of course, the ebook for free, Freight Broker one-on-one ebook that I created. I think it's about 38 pages or so. Uh, 38 pages. Freight Broker one-on-one ebook. I am finishing up a Freight Broker one-on-one beginner's glossary. So breaks down, the ebook breaks down Freight Broker and gives an introduction, and prerequisites. Everything that's in the ebook is broken down on the website in more detailed format. So let me open up another, there we go, ebook here. So it gives a better overview. And it's 38 pages, so it breaks it down, very detailed. Sections. So the first section that's taught is prerequisites of being to freight brokering. So prior to becoming a freight broker, some of the prerequisites, of course, you need a business plan of how your brokerage is going to run. And in any business plan, there are some common things that need to be outlined, and then you just go into detail of those commonalities as it relates specifically to your freight brokerage or your business. You know, of course, a business plan has executive summaries, the descriptions, and we go over this, products and services, market analysis. So you just break it down as it relates to your specific freight broker business and how you're going to run that. Next, of course, you're going to need an EIN number, because when you are applying for an authority on the FMCSA website, they do not ask for a name. They ask for like a first and last name. They'll ask you for the name of your business. So you would have to had a business established first. So you need an EIN number, of course, your business name. Make sure it's, get your name registered with your local state and local city municipalities, however that's done in your state. Excuse me. And then your legal business formation or structure, the type of business your brokerage is going to be, whether it's sole proprietor, partnership, LLC, corporation, LLP, partnership, the different types of corporations, C Corp, S Corp, things like that. Of course, get your bank account set up, your business bank account, and then decide if you have things in your business that you're going to need protected, intangible assets, like you may need things that they have to have copyrights to it, trademarks or patents, and then you deal with taxes as well, and then different types of taxes. And then legal services. I'll give an example, Rocket Lawyer or LegalZoom. So those are some of the prerequisites that if you are getting into the freight brokering business to consider. Next, we go into training on the difference between a freight broker and a broker agent. So I'll keep it high level here. Explaining that the freight broker is, and also the agent to a lesser degree, is like an intermediary between their customer, which are the shippers, and the carrier or trucking companies. And the broker and agent, they pretty much do the same thing. The only major difference is that the broker, the freight agent, does not have the financial or legal compliance, the financial responsibility or legal compliances of the actual broker. So what do I mean by that? What are some of the financial responsibilities, and what are some of the legal requirements of a freight broker? Well, the financial responsibilities is that you have to pay for insurance, you have to pay for your VOC3 processing agent, you have to pay for your bond. The legal compliance is, being registered with FMCSA, the IRS as far as your business and things like that. So the agent works under the broker. They work under their authority. There is a commission split based off of the level of experience that the agent comes in at. If you have no experience and you're not bringing any customers into the brokerage to work under that broker, or your book of business, which are your customers that you come to the broker with, and then the commission split may be 50-50. The standard commission split is, of course, 60-40, 60 to the agent, 40 to the brokerage. If you come in with some experience, a book of business, you know what you're doing, you move loads regularly, then it's 70-30, maybe 80-20. So, and that's the high level difference between an agent and a broker. Next, we go into, we start talking about workflow, the 4 R's, working capital. So high level 4 R's, of course, when you're starting up as a broker or an agent, of course, you want to research your customers prior to reaching out to them. Reach out. You research the company, get as much information as you can. So when you call a potential prospect or customer, shipper, you have enough information about them. When you're speaking to them, you know what they'll see, that you know what you're talking about, that you've educated yourself about their company, and they'll be more willing to listen to you. Reaching out, that's the reaching out phase. You're actually cold calling, emailing, actually physically visiting sometimes. Then you establish a relationship. That is done through moving their loads and things like that, getting past the gatekeeper to the actual shipper or logistics manager. And then the return part of it is, as you move more loads for them, they give you more loads to move, more business. So, of course, talk about a sample workflow, the day in the life of a broker agent. When does it start? What happens throughout the day? What are they doing? That process, workflow. Working capital, different lines of credit from a bank or factoring companies or even your own savings. Basically, when you first start off as a brokerage, how do you work that in as working capital? What kind of monies are you coming in with, to pay for that $75,000 surety bond or trust fund? Are you getting that from a line of credit from a bank based off of your credit? Are you using a factory company, which is receivables financing? Or do you have enough savings saved up to just jump right in? Next, we discuss the requirements for being a broker. What's required? Of course, you need to apply with the FMCSA, fill out their UCR, Unified Carrier Registration, or the OP1 form, which is the form that's filled out when you are either updating or renewing your authority every 2 years. And there's a link to the FMCSA website. And the type of authority, as a broker. Are you going to be a broker of property? Are you going to be a broker of house of goods? What's the difference between those? The type of authority you're going to get, whether it's going to be MC, which is more carrier broker authority, of FF, freight forwarder, or MX, whether you're going to be working out of Mexico. So we're going into detail about that. The fee for that will be $300, non-refundable, and the process to get your results for the authority to come back to you, whether you approved or not, is 4 to 6 weeks. Then you apply for your bond, whether you're going to choose a surety bond, or which is a BMC 84, or your trust fund, which is the BMC 85. It used to be $10,000, now it is $75,000. So what is that all about? What does that entail? How do you apply for that? And what are the requirements for your surety bond? Your trust fund is just the surety bond is like a line of credit. The trust fund is held like in an account, like an escrow. So, and some of the requirements for the surety bond here, you have to be a U.S. citizen, no bankruptcies in progress, no judgments or liens more than $1,500, and which that shows like financial irresponsibility. No past due child support, no open or prior surety claims. So if you are choosing the surety bond route, you want to make sure that you do not fall in any of these 5 negatively in any of these 5 requirements. So, and then you need to obtain a BOC3, which is a processing agent, someone who represents you when court papers are served in a proceeding against the carrier, broker, or freight forwarder. So if someone's filing a claim against your brokerage, you need a processing agent, and it can be yourself. And one processing agent can be in several states, because you're going to need processing agents in the states that you're going to be brokering out of. And that's the Form BOC-3. And you can go to the FMCSA website. I have links. And then you need to obtain insurance. So, in addition to the contracted carriers you're going to have under your brokerage, if you purchase like contingency cargo insurance, and you go to a shipper and you send a shipper packet to them, that shows financial responsibility, and that shows that you as the broker are kind of all in when you have contingency cargo on top of the insurance that your approved carriers have while they are under that load of that shipper. So, and then of course the UCR, the Unified Carrier Registration. It's when you go and update every 2 years, biennial. You keep if anything changes on your authority, whether your address change or it's time to update every 2 years, you go to FMCSA and update that. So, name changes, if you like reinstate your authority when you had suspended it, or you get revoked. If it was revoked, you have to reinstate it. I have links to the FMCSA website where to go to solve that issue. Next, we have an area where we deal with shippers, the different types of shippers, the different resources for dealing with the shippers, different online resources to look up shippers, like Grace Blue Book. There's several. You can buy shipper loads, but these are some of the free ones. ThomasNet, Google, of course, and there's others. Just listed those here. And then we talk about cold calling, how to get past the gatekeeper, maybe the receptionist, someone who is in charge of sending a message to the person in charge, like a receptionist. They will forward the message or forward you to a voicemail of the logistics manager or the shipping director or what have you. And there are scripts that I have here. You can tweak the scripts as you like, but these are some of the things you may say, some of the responses that you might hear, how to react, and that's the cold calling area. And then, of course, you have email marketing, personal visits to companies, like your local shipping companies in your area. You may want to consider starting out that way. And then consider joining like social media, shipping and transportation groups locally, go to some events. Join them locally on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or Instagram. And there are also locally shipping association and membership meetings. You can attend those. Just sit in, shake hands with a few people, pass out cards, and get to know them. And then offer the service that you are providing. The different packet types when you are a freight broker or a freight broker agent. You have the shipper broker packet and you have the broker carrier packet. So the contents of the shipper broker packet is going to include your broker authority that you receive back from FMCSA once you are approved, and it lists the type of authority you have as a broker. Like in this case, it's a broker arranging the transport of freight except household goods. Of course, your BMC 84 or 85, which is your surety bond, which is the 84, or the trust bond, which is the 85. That's what those look like. And of course, the W-9, your W-9 if you're a brokerage for tax purposes, and any contingency cargo that you may have, and then your credit application. The potential prospect or shipper or customer fills this out, returns it to you, and then you run it through your team for approval, your factory company or your compliance team to get the shipper or customer approved for a certain line of credit. And then you have the carrier packets. Now this is between the broker and the potential carrier or owner, operator, or truck driver that you want to bring under your brokerage as an approved carrier to run the loads for your customers who are your shippers. So the contents of the carrier packet usually is the broker carrier agreement, lays out the terms and conditions of the agreement. And this is just a snapshot of the beginning page. And then you have other pages in between, and then the ending page where you, as the broker and the carrier, sign the agreement and agree upon everything within the carrier packet. And then, of course, you have the carrier profile. The carriers listing their information, DOT, MC, the equipment type that they have, things like that, where they like to run, any quick pay options if your brokerage offers that. And of course, you want the carrier's MC authority. The carrier MC motor carrier type for a common, a carrier is either a common carrier, sometimes contracted carrier, and it will show on their MC authority that the FMCSA sent to them when they applied for their authority. Certificate of insurance, you want to make sure that your carrier is approved for the insurance level that's required based off of your customer's requirements. And typically, there are some minimums, like for liability, general liability, it's $1 million minimum, and for cargo, it's usually $100. As a special note, sometimes brokers want the carriers to list their brokerage as a certificate holder while they are under that load. And on the certificate of insurance, where this star is where the carrier or a dispatcher who represents that carrier will have the insurance company. They'll call the insurance company and give the name, street address, city, state, and zip of the brokerage to be listed as a certificate holder while they are under that load. And then, of course, the W-9 of the carriers, their company name, their name on the tax return, the type of business they are, their street address, city, state, and zip, and their EIN number. And then, lastly, if the carrier has a factoring company, they will shoot over a NOA form, which is a notice of assignment. This is where the factoring company has the carrier send it to the broker. The broker fills it out, returns it, and the factoring company runs a credit check to make sure the brokerage pays on time and there are no issues there. So we go into detail with that, answers any questions. Next is a workflow of actually booking the load. How is that done? What's involved in that? From the time you get the load approved, you win that bid from the shipper, and then you connect a carrier to that load. What is the process involved in that? We explain that a little bit and give you an idea of what to expect. Next, we have the TMS systems, transportation management systems. These are customer relationships and content management systems combined. They are one centralized locations where brokerages can keep everything in one location and manage all aspects of their brokerage, from their customers or shippers to their carriers or approved carriers or the owner operators, to the assets that they have. The brokerage has approved assets or approved carriers under their brokerage, to the loads where you build the load, invoicing, document management, billing, payables, rates, everything. You can build loads in there. You can post loads in your transportation management systems. And then we give examples of transportation management systems. One of the common ones is Ascend. There are others: eFreight Solutions, Access TMS, Aljex. Some people may have heard of that. And then we have tools and resources. There will be more tools and resources added. Right now we have the Freight Broker 101 Training for Beginners ebook. And lastly, in the back office portal of the Freight Broker 101 Training for Beginners will be the area where training videos will be uploaded here in this area. And then also the Freight Broker 101 Training for Beginners is an ongoing training. You stay in it as long as you like and feel comfortable in staying in it. Also, I have partnered with 2 and possibly going on 3 real brokerages where if you feel you have enough training and you want to get some experience in a brokerage, these brokerages have offered the opportunity after you get to a point where you've learned enough in the Freight Broker One-on-One training for beginners. You can come in under a real brokerage and work as a freight broker agent. Of course, if you do not have a book of business, no customers, no shippers, then the commission split will be 50-50. And then as you build over time, bring on customers, start to move loads, that will change to 60-40, maybe even 70-30, depending on the relationship with you as the agent and the freight broker with whom you are working under. Also, too, once you get to a point while you are in there, you are ready to leave and start your own brokerage, you can either take all of your book of business with you or a certain percentage, like half of your book of business, and leave half of what you had. Again, depending on the contract and the relationship that you sign with that specific broker and the terms that you guys decide. I have no say in that. So that's all. That's part of the Freight Broker One-on-One training for beginners. It is scheduled to start March 1st. I am offering from today's date now, February 5th, up until March 31st, the 2-for-1 at $399.99. So 2 people can sign up for $399.99 and become members. And again, it's not a 1 day or a 1 week, 1 month training. It is ongoing. And the price is one time. There are no subscriptions included. It's just a one-time payment, and you get as much training as you need to learn how to become a freight broker, work independent. So, looking forward to those interested in joining Freight Broker One-on-One training for beginners. If you are, go to the website www.exodusdispatchingandtraining.com. Hover your mouse over the Freight Broker One-on-One training for beginners and select the Enroll in Freight Broker Training, Freight Broker One-on-One training, and then simply click the Pay Now button, and it'll take you to a payment page. You can pay with either a PayPal account if you have, you log in with your email, or if not, then a credit or debit card. Once you pay, we will get an alert on our end saying that you were paid, and we will reply to that email that was paid under, and then give you information about logging into the free conference call for the trainings, send you the ebook, and tell you to sign up for site membership on the website, which is right here where you would go on the first link, and you would click to sign up like you did before. Log out and show you. Right here. So, and that's the very first link, not the second one, but the first one. You just click the sign up, and again, it defaults to log in, but you just once you're new to the site, because you're coming for the first time to log in, because you're a new site member, you sign up with your email and password, hit sign up, it sends an alert to the website admin team, and they go ahead and approve you, and then now you have access to all of those tools and resources. So again, I'm looking forward to you guys joining. 2-for-1, $399. Take advantage of it. It's a lot of training, what you get under Freight Broker Training One-on-One. So thanks again. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Have a good evening.